Hi everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the Fasthosts Q&A. Today I am joined by Simon, our CEO, and by James, our Head of Technical Operations. And we're here today to talk to you about our new data center and what it means for you. So let's get straight to it. Simon, James, I guess the biggest question right now is why is Fastos creating a new data center?
Well, we've been in our current location for almost 20 years now, and over that time, data center design, data center technologies have advanced a lot over that period. In order to meet our customers' needs in the long-term future, we need to advance our data center technologies. We have been looking at this project for a number of years, and we've been executing the project for almost 2 years now. It's a significant investment, one that we feel is the right time for us to invest in this facility, in this state-of-the-art data center, in order to meet the longer-term needs of our customers, and that's why we've chosen to go for it now. We've chosen a site in Worcester, just off Junction 6 of the M5. We see that it's very important from a connectivity perspective, and it gives us really good geodiverse north-south connectivity, and it's the perfect location, close to our current headquarters in Gloucester, and so we see this as the right time to make that investment and the right time to make that change.
The other benefit of Worcester is it was a completely greenfield site for us. It allowed us to design the data centre exactly how we wanted to design it. We've really taken care to make sure that it's as efficient as it possibly can be, and it's it's been purpose-built. It is a data centre first. It's not been anything else previously, as a lot of the data centres across this island are. So it really is the perfect and the most state-of-the-art, the most modern, the most complex site in Europe, pretty much.
Now, the scale and size of this data center and just the overall design is really impressive, and I don't think us talking about it really does it justice, but it's also quite a unique design.
I think some of the uniqueness around the design is it's to Tier 4 data center design, and that's Tier 4 based on the Uptime Institute. But the way the design has been able to combine those requirements for uptime and availability along with the environmental and efficiency aspects is truly unique. Often, Tier 4 design data centers, you require a very significant amount of investment, and they might not have things like environmental factors or efficiency uppermost in their design. And the uniqueness, the bit that makes this state cutting edge and best in class, is the combination of both of those factors.
So one thing that struck me was actually just how big the new data center is, especially in comparison to our current facility. Just how big is the data center?
So the data center has been designed with a modular infrastructure that allows us to expand over time, but essentially gives us enough space in roughly half of the current site to accommodate all of the infrastructure that we have in our Gloucester sites today. So we'll migrate everything from Gloucester and we'll consume about half of the available space in Worcester. We can then grow Worcester over time, so we can add 2 additional independent data centres within the current shell, and we have space at the back of the data centre for a further one in the future if we require it. Obviously, we're expecting to grow as a business in the coming years, and we're expecting our customers' businesses to grow, and all that additional space gives us plenty of scope to do that.
I'd describe it as an industrial size data centre. I think our existing shell is almost 4,000 square metres, and we have the ability to expand that further. I think in each of those modules that James referenced, we can fit well over 100 racks in each. So we've got plenty of capacity to meet our current and future needs.
And I guess that's one of the benefits of actually having a purpose-built facility, is that we've actually been able to design it with capacity for growth and expansion, which is not something that a lot of other data centers have, especially when they've been repurposed from other buildings.
Exactly that. It allows us to provision additional capacity in a just-in-time manner, rather than having to make that significant investment up front in a build it and they will come manner. So yes, it allows us to expand it modularly over time with relatively smaller investments than it would if we were to build the entire site in one hit.
And I think that phasing of those different modules makes sure that we can continue to be efficient, and we can do this in an efficient manner. We're very conscious of the environmental impact and environmental topics. So choosing a modular design and phasing the introduction of each of those modules means that we can continue to be efficient throughout that timeline.
So it's 2022, and one thing that is kind of dominating all the headlines and probably on the tip of everyone's mind is the environment and being, environmentally friendly. So what are we doing with our data centers to make sure that, we're being as environmentally responsible as possible?
Fastos has always been very environmentally conscious, but increasingly over the years we recognise that we've got wider stakeholders than our shareholders and our customers, and we've got a responsibility, a wider sort of social and environmental responsibility. For many years, we've always used 100% renewable energy, and we're committed to that, and we'll continue to do so in the future. I think previously we touched upon the unique nature of a design and the sort of marriage of tier 4 design with efficiency and environmental impacts, and that is truly unique. The way that we've designed the data center is with energy efficiency in mind, and we're confident that we will make significant improvements from our current data center with the energy efficiency, but also, by and large, the vast majority of data centers in the UK, we're confident that this data center will be more efficient. We've also considered the environmental impacts. We've already touched on the sheer size of a building, and on top of a building, on the roof, there will be a sort of a solar farm. We've almost got 4,000 square meters of roofing, which will be completely covered by solar panels, which is enough to power one of those modules, one of those data halls throughout the whole year, and offset our sort of energy consumption. The generators, they work off diesel, or in our case, we insisted that they also work on HVO, which is hydro-treated vegetable oil. It's sustainable, we're reusing a waste product, and its emissions are almost 90% more efficient from an emissions perspective. And also just the shell and the fabric of the building, we've used carbon-friendly materials to build the shell and the roof. And so throughout, we've always been looking for the advantage from an environmental and an efficiency point of view.
Yeah, so all of those things that Simon's just talked about drive the PUE of the data center, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a sec, but the PUE of the data center to 1.25. So PUE is the power usage effectiveness, so how much power you need to power the IT equipment plus any ancillary equipment, so things like the cooling system or the lighting in the building management system and so on. And a PUE of 1.25 means that we need effectively 25% more power to power all of the stuff in the data center, with obviously the core IT load being the bit that we deliver to customers. The 1.25 figure puts this data center right at the top of the efficiency charts. I think in the UK, we're probably looking at an average of more than 1.5 for most sites. So it makes it a really efficient and good site for reducing power utilization overall.
When it comes to data centers, security is one of the most important things. So what are we doing with our new data center to make sure we're meeting those commitments to keeping customers' data secure?
Security and cyber security is very important to us, and we work a lot to make sure that we're working to the latest standards throughout all of our platforms and all of our systems, and we've got dedicated resource working on the security of all of our platforms. With regard to the data center in mind, we've used all the latest technologies. The data center has a sort of almost 4 meter high security fence around it. For some people, it might remind them from the outside of the look of a prison, but that's to ensure that all of our customers' data is secure and that we keep them online and security is maximized.
So we're now on to what's probably the most interesting question for our customers, and that's migrations and how we're going to move from one location to another. Obviously, when it comes to moving websites, projects, and servers, it's going to have to be migrated, and that does mean there's going to be some slight disruption. So how are we going to make sure that we can run through this process as smoothly as possible?
My team's been busy planning this for a number of months now. There's been a lot of preparatory work that's gone into it, not just planning, but also making our systems more migration ready, if you like. They've been building new platforms in Worcester, ready to receive some of the workloads that are here in Gloucester today. The expectation sort of during migration for the vast majority of customers is that they won't even notice that they've moved from Gloucester to Worcester. They will receive notification that they're going to move. They will receive a notification that they have moved. But in terms of disruption, we're expecting very, very little. So it may be in the middle of the night, a few seconds as a server gets shut down in Gloucester and brought back online in Worcester. It should be seamless. There are, of course, a few servers that will have to move. They're physical devices that we have to power off in Gloucester and relocate physically to Worcester, and they will obviously be offline during that relocation. But we're doing that in the most efficient way we can, maximising the resource that we have at this end and in Worcester, and minimising the amount of time that device is offline for. I guess in summary, we're expecting the migrations to be no more disruptive than a very standard Fastos maintenance window.
So that brings us to the end of today's Q&A. A very big thanks to James and Simon for coming along. It's been really interesting to hear your expertise and your point of view in this whole process, and I think it's been really informative for everyone. So again, thank you for coming along, and thanks to you for tuning in. I really hope this has been helpful, and please do make sure to stay tuned for further content around our new data center coming very soon. It really is going to be a very exciting time, and we cannot wait to share more with you. Bye for now.